Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to our Vertical Mindset with Sarah Foley, and best known as Vertical Blonde. She is an icon for shifting perspectives and overcoming life's challenges. And today we'll be diving deep into and talking about the best and easiest ways to get into a vertical mindset daily. I'm very excited. Just before in the green room, before we started this recording, Sarah's like, not everything needs deep analysis and going and overthinking it. There are things that we can apply every single day, and I cannot wait to hear her hacks, her daily vertical mindset hacks. So Sarah, take it away. Thank you so much for sharing these with us.
Absolutely. So if you have listened to me at all, you've probably heard this simple yet extremely transformative prayer that I use on a daily basis and even a moment-to-moment basis. And it is simply this: Dear God, thank you for the seemingly good and the seemingly bad, for in this moment, I do not know the difference. So if I've learned anything through going through life with a disability, I was in an accident at 30 years old and everything shifted. I kind of say that everything got flipped upside down. In the accident, I flipped, my life flipped, everything just started flipping. Nothing was what it seemed. Everything felt upside down. Everything felt out of sorts and just not the way that it used to be. And I think that in life, going through COVID, going through all the different challenges that have come out of COVID, relationship changes, job changes, changes within your home dynamic, who's home during the day, that can even be a big change. So when you're going through these things, I get it. I've been there. I know what it feels like to have everything just flipped upside down. You're like, this feels anything but normal. And in a weird world that when things are normal, we want them to be out of this world and totally extraordinary and all these beautiful things. Yet when things are crazy, all we want is normalcy. We just want it to be normal again. And I think that in this time when things feel very abnormal, we just want normalcy. We just want the things that we came to know and expect, and there was a sense of certainty, even if we didn't quite love the certainty it was offering, even if we didn't quite love our circumstances, at least we knew what to expect. So when things start flipping out of control, this prayer can be really useful. Thank you for the seemingly good. Thank you for the seemingly bad. In this moment, I do not know the difference. So if we believe that this prayer has power, then we can believe that nothing is what it seems. Absolutely nothing is what it seems. My life got flipped upside down, and now I tell you, I have been given everything I could have wanted from that accident. My life I couldn't plan this any better. And honestly, it is about the conscious decisions that I made along this journey that made it so that I was happy with this life. It's not our circumstances. I'm in plenty of support groups that it's kind of like one side of the coin or the other. People are just like, my life's over. How could this be? There's nothing good in life. I can't even find the good in life anymore. And then the others are like, I've been given a second chance. So that is the same coin and two very different sides of the same coin. So when we start to look at life like that, we start to get this idea that we can choose what is good or bad because nothing is what it seems. We get to make that decision. And one of my favorite games, I know I shouldn't say game when we're dealing with the game of life, though it can be very serious. But for me, I like to keep things joyful and lighthearted because I feel like sometimes we really, really need that. So I use it can be a fun game, and you can play it with others, you can play it with yourself, no worries. Doesn't matter the number of players, okay? But the game is simply the what if game. What if in this moment, what if? And one of the girls that I mentor, she says, whenever you play the what if game, she says your whole demeanor changes. You get a little excited and your voice goes up because I get really stoked to think, what if this circumstance could be just the key that gives me everything I could want? What if this moment of going through COVID truly is unlocking all these things within myself. It's unlocking opportunities. It's cracking me open in all the right ways. So you can start to play this with circumstances that you're dealing with. And it can be big or little. So you can start with something small, right? Someone calls and you're not in the mood to talk. So you end the call, right? Like we all are now big phone screeners, right? It's like, just text me. No one wants to talk anymore for some reason. But say someone actually calls. What does your mind do? Oh my gosh, what has happened? Something must be wrong, right? Like our immediate reaction when someone actually calls us instead of text is something's wrong. Someone is in the hospital. Something's wrong. Oh my goodness. Or on the other side, you're like, oh my gosh, they are totally long-winded. I'm not in the mood to talk. Why don't they text me? Why are they always calling me? I mean, your mind can go in so many different directions. But what if this phone call is just what you need, but maybe you're not in the mood for, right? Usually what we need and what we think we want are very different things. But what if this phone call, even if it's with someone that sometimes irks me, right? That person that kind of gets right at you, gets under your skin. What if I can make this phone call into something really beautiful? What if I can change the conversation, change the tone just in the way that I answer the phone? What if I can begin to mend the relationship instead of getting stuck in the past? What if? So when you start to play this game and you start to look at things a little differently, and all you're doing is you're toying with possibilities. You're just toying with the idea that this is not what it seems, and I can actually create something really good out of even the seemingly bad, right? Say you don't have a good relationship with your mother or your brother or a friend and you guys are in the outs. That seemingly bad phone call, right? You think this can be you already are feeling it in your body. Oh, start to sweat every time she calls. Like, I can't do it today. But what if just by the way you answer the call, what if you were to take 5 deep breaths before you actually answered it? What if you just got your body moving? You thought, this is going to be great. This phone call is going to be amazing. And then you answer the call. Because remember, it doesn't matter what the first thing comes out of that phone call is. Because thank you for the seemingly good. Thank you for the seemingly bad. You never know how things are going to go. But I do know that we actually get to course correct based on our perspective. It is not the circumstance that decides our direction. It is our focus.
Amazing. So there's really two main things to remember here, right? Which is the prayer. So can you just remind us of the prayer? Thank you, God, for this.
For the seemingly good, and thank you for the seemingly bad. For in this moment, I do not know the difference.
For in this moment, I do not know the difference. And then the what if game. The what if game. And then, so one of the questions I have, and I'm thinking about the phone call that you're talking about, what if, interesting. Sometimes, so let me rephrase it. Sometimes we're too open and too available, or I mean, okay, here's my experience. In the past, I've had a really hard time saying no. I've had a really hard time putting on boundaries of certain people who I would feel super drained after a conversation. So I know that if I do 10 minutes or if I'm within a group of friends, it goes really well. But spending just a lot of alone time with them or an hour on the phone, it just totally drains me. So putting healthy boundaries on really helped me. I know it's not the subject of this call, but sometimes, you know, how do you get to have a vertical mindset when those things happen?
So I've said this before in that sometimes, like the idea of growth, we think we have to do all this work. Whereas sometimes growth is actually doing nothing and it's becoming really present, right? Action can actually mean doing nothing. And being open to different perspectives and possibilities could also mean this person is strengthening in you. I am like people pleaser in like every fiber of my being goes to like people pleaser mode, right? And if I'm not people pleasing, it feels really wrong. So for that, what if this person, their only role in your life is to strengthen your ability to say no? Again, it's not what it seems. Maybe it is the fact that this person is not serving you. And unfortunately, that can be people that are connected by blood, right? That this person, unfortunately, we do have to build up that resilience and that strength within ourselves to know, and that awareness. I think everything comes back to awareness. If everything starts sweating when this person calls, and it's a different kind of sweat. It's not just like, but it's like, oh, in my gut, like this isn't right. Like if my focus and my direction is to grow and to really be specific and particular about the people that are surrounding me, and this person is not fitting the bill, they're not offering me anything good in my life, right? Positive, then perhaps their role, what if the only reason why they're in your life is to build up that ability to say no? So I think that possibly, again, that's what the what if game is. It's all about just starting to look around. What are the different possibilities of what this could mean? And perhaps it is coming back. If that is what's coming up for you, then I think it's a really good awareness to start playing around with the idea that what if this person is there to teach me to say no? To really, really put my knowledge of what a true boundary is and why we have boundaries, to put that to the test, to put that in action. Because that's what boundaries are. And frankly, boundaries, they're really uncomfortable when you start to put them into place. Really uncomfortable for the people on the other side, and really uncomfortable for the people that are putting them into place. Like they are not fun when you're not used to boundaries. When you're used to being like, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? I'm up for whatever. I'm so easygoing, right? Like we become this girl when we're dating. I typically, I remember every guy I would date being like, I'm so easygoing. No, I'm not. I'm not easygoing, right? But in the first few weeks, I am like, oh, whatever you want. No, I'm not. I'm super particular about what I'm in the mood to eat. I'm super particular about what kind of movies I like. No. So if we are not being honest in those boundaries, then the one that we're hurting is ourselves. And if we can start to really, and the what if game doesn't, what I love about the what if game is it reminds me that nothing is permanent, right? It reminds me that nothing is set in stone, that I have to do it this way. It reminds me that there's a trillion other ideas. Actually, my little boy, his big thing is right now, what is the biggest number? And he's trying to like say the biggest number. Whatever the biggest number is, right? Infinity, that's how many possibilities there are in the what if game. So if there's that many possibilities, there's not one right or wrong. And we're not going to know what's right or wrong until we can feel it in our gut and be like, this feels right. Even though it feels really against everything I know, like putting into a boundary or saying no, it actually feels right because I see the direction I want to go in. So that's why focus and setting our intention and realizing that, really taking some time to think about what kind of life you want and think about what kinds of people you want, what kinds of feelings you want to experience in life. Then the details can start to fall into place. So the what if game, it's a game. It's meant to be fun. And soon, now I'm in this place where I've played the what if game so many times. Like I'm the creator of it. I get it. I've written all the rules, right? Like I know it through and through. I don't even have to think about it. my mind immediately starts like pinging all the ways this can serve me. And it typically doesn't really focus on the ways that it doesn't serve me. I'm immediately trying to go to like, how is this serving me? How is this elevating me? How is this enabling me to grow, to expand, to live a more fulfilled life, and a fulfilled life that is in the direction of living vertically, right? This idea that everything serves us. And if people around me aren't willing to see things differently, doesn't mean they have to, doesn't mean they have to change their whole morals, their whole beliefs, anything like that. But I think it's the openness and the awareness to say, I know I have blind spots. Please tell me when you see them, because I can't see them. And I want to be better. I want to grow. So no right or wrong. Doesn't have to be super serious. It just has to open you up that this is not what it seems.
Amazing. So powerful. And one of the the biggest takeaway I think is there's infinity amounts of what ifs. So if one's not working, try another what if. And if that one doesn't work, try another one. And you'll see what sticks and what makes us happy then and takes. And I love what you're saying about having a clear focus of where we want to go, which is living vertically, right? So if it feels good, no need to what if anymore. But if there's anything that's causing some sort of ickiness, then what if? What if this, and it changes our energy. Thank you so much, Sarah. Any final thoughts before we head home?
Thank you for the seemingly good, and thank you for the seemingly bad. I hope this prayer serves you as much as it has served me. It's become near and dear to my heart. So in this moment, remember, we do not know the difference.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sarah. And thank you for tuning in to our vertical mindset call that we have every single week where, we come to shift our mindset and where we recognize that everything in life has the ability to elevate us to the next level. Thanks so much and take care, everyone.
Aloha.